horrifying earthquakes, extreme food shortages, the fall of the United States, the alliance of Russia and China, artificial intelligence getting out of control, massive revolutions, the existence of alien life, and the end of false prophets. Nostradamus predicted it all, and it has already begun. Don't miss this exclusive video as I reveal all the prophecies that have already begun. And first up, the condition of our planet is serious, and it's not just something you catch on the news. These changes are real, happening right now, and can be seen all over the world. Some people even think these events were predicted by Nostradamus, a 16th century prophet who wrote about huge earthquakes and floods that swallow cities. Today, natural disasters like these are more common and have a huge impact. Just this year, powerful earthquakes struck places like Turkey, Japan, and the Pacific Islands, destroying cities, taking thousands of lives, and affecting countless families. The videos from all around the world show communities torn apart, people in shock, and landscapes changed forever, showing just how serious and frequent these disasters are becoming. But there's more. This is exactly what Nostradamus was talking about, but it's not only about earthquakes. The melting of Earth's glaciers and ice caps is accelerating at a terrifying rate. This meltwater flows into oceans, causing sea levels to rise. As the seas rise, coastal areas become more vulnerable to powerful storms, and many communities find themselves underwater after particularly intense hurricanes and typhoons. If you live near a coast, you might have seen signs of this. The tides creeping a little higher, the storms hitting a little harder each year. Even if you live far from the sea, you may have seen videos or news of floods turning entire cities into rivers, swallowing buildings, cars, and even homes, and the situation isn't getting any better. And it's not just about flooding and hurricanes. Nostradamus also mentioned a great drought. Today, large parts of the world are suffering from droughts, with some regions drying up faster than scientists had predicted. California, for instance, is experiencing more frequent and severe droughts, and Australia's water reserves are shrinking at an alarming rate. In some parts of Africa, entire water sources are disappearing, leaving communities without clean drinking water or enough water to grow crops. Imagine what it would mean if droughts continued and intensified. Food could become harder to grow and more expensive to buy. People might even start fighting over access to clean water, leading to conflicts that are hard to imagine today. The Earth is changing in ways that should make you uncomfortable because it suggests a future that could be far harsher than the one we live in now. But this is nothing compared to the political shifts and the rise of new powers. As natural disasters increase, so do changes in global politics. Nostradamus warned about great empires crumbling and new alliances forming. Some say this prediction is unfolding now. We live in a world where power dynamics are changing rapidly and old alliances are shifting. For decades, the United States has been one of the most powerful countries in the world, known for its influence and leadership in international politics. But today, that leadership is being challenged. China and Russia, two powerful countries with strong national pride and ambition, are rising and questioning America's role in the world. These countries are forming their alliances and redefining what power means globally. But it doesn't end here. Take China as an example. Over the last few decades, China's economy has grown to become one of the largest in the world, and its influence has spread far beyond its borders. Through a project known as the Belt and Road Initiative, China has connected with countries across Asia, Europe, and even Africa, establishing trade relationships that benefit China's economy and solidify its position as a world leader. This initiative allows China to build infrastructure in other countries, like roads, ports, and railways, creating pathways for trade and strengthening its ties with those regions. Russia, too, has been increasing its influence, particularly in Europe. After the Ukraine crisis, Russia has shown that it's willing to assert its power, and it's clear that Russia aims to expand its reach in global politics. This shift in power isn't limited to just two countries. Around the world, new alliances are forming, and old ones are weakening. Imagine a future where Asia becomes the center of global power and influence, where Western alliances like NATO or the EU no longer hold the same weight. This new world order could impact everyone's daily life, changing trade, diplomacy, and even how countries cooperate on issues like climate change. Nostradamus was right about empires crumbling and new alliances forming, and we could be looking at the beginning of a significant shift in who leads and who follows on the global stage. But that's just scratching the surface, because AI is getting out of control. The world is witnessing rapid advances in science and technology, making possible things that once seemed like science fiction. But these advancements come with challenges and risks that Nostradamus may have been warning us about. He wrote about a time when humanity would play God, interfering with life and nature in unprecedented ways. Today, that concept isn't far off. We're creating artificial intelligence, editing genes, and building technologies that can alter human life on a level that was previously unimaginable. While these breakthroughs are exciting, they also bring new dangers that we need to consider seriously. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is one area where we're seeing huge progress. AI systems can now analyze data faster than humans, predict human behavior, and even make decisions without human input. Some AI programs are even better than doctors at diagnosing certain diseases. While this is amazing, it also raises serious ethical questions. Imagine a future where AI becomes so advanced that it starts making decisions that control large parts of society, decisions that humans might not even understand. If we lose control of AI, it could lead to a world where machines, not people, make crucial choices, possibly even about life and death. If AI gains enough power, it could become something that humans can't fully control or predict. Then there's the field of genetic engineering. Scientists have started altering the DNA of plants, animals, and even humans. The goal is often to improve health, cure diseases, and even extend human life. But genetic engineering comes with risks. Imagine a world where the wealthy can pay for gene editing to improve their intelligence, appearance, or health, creating a class of genetically enhanced persons who hold more power, influence, and opportunity. This could lead to a world of genetic haves and have-nots, a division that could tear society apart. While these technologies offer incredible benefits, they also create ethical dilemmas about fairness, equality, and what it means to be human. If Nostradamus foresaw a world where humans play God, it could be a warning of the complexities and dangers of scientific progress. But this was not the end, because it gets even worse. The COVID-19 pandemic showed you how quickly life can change and how vulnerable the global health systems are to a single virus. Nostradamus warned of plagues spreading fast and sparing no one, a statement that resonates with the events of recent years. The pandemic brought fear, loss, and uncertainty, impacting billions of lives. But some health experts warn that COVID-19 isn't the last of its kind. As the world becomes more connected, viruses spread faster and new diseases are appearing at an alarming rate. With antibiotic resistance rising, future outbreaks could be even more challenging to contain. Consider how fast the COVID-19 virus spread around the world, largely because of international travel. Within weeks, the virus had affected nearly every country, leading to lockdowns, mask mandates, and social distancing. Imagine a future where similar outbreaks become more frequent, with each new virus bringing fresh challenges. Health systems, already stretched thin and might struggle to keep up. Nostradamus's prophecy about new plagues might not just mean one virus, but an era where pandemics are regular, pushing society to its limits. A terrifying future where pandemics become part of your normal life. Masks, vaccinations, and even lockdowns could become routine practices. Schools and businesses might regularly close for weeks at a time, and people may be more cautious about traveling or attending large gatherings. Each new outbreak would bring new fears, testing your resilience and adaptability. Nostradamus's vision of widespread plagues could reflect a world where humanity faces a continuous struggle to stay safe and healthy, a scenario that once seemed extreme but now feels increasingly possible. But there's also something you need to know about contact with other life. For centuries, humanity has wondered whether we're alone in the universe. Nostradamus hinted at a time when we would encounter beings from the stars. Recent years have brought increased interest in this idea, especially as governments worldwide have begun to release information about unidentified flying objects or UFOs. Even the US Pentagon has acknowledged that it has recorded encounters with objects it can't explain, fueling speculation that these might be signs of extraterrestrial life. Imagine the impact of confirming that we're not alone. Nostradamus suggested that such a discovery would be a turning point in human history. If we learned that alien life exists, it would change our understanding of science, religion, and humanity's place in the universe. Some might see aliens as a threat, while others might view them as potential allies. But whatever reaction humans have, contact with extraterrestrials would change everything we know and challenge us to rethink our existence. There's even a theory that aliens might already be observing us, waiting for the right moment to make contact. Imagine a future where humans communicate with beings far more advanced than we are, beings with knowledge and technology we can't even imagine. If they chose to reveal themselves, it could lead to a time of collaboration, where we learn from each other. However, it could also create a lot of fear and mistrust, especially if some people see aliens as a threat. Nostradamus's hints about beings from the stars might sound like science fiction, but with new sightings and evidence, it's becoming a possibility that many are starting to take seriously. But if you think it couldn't get any more shocking, you really need to hear this. As the world changes, so does people's willingness to demand justice and fairness. Nostradamus wrote about a fire in the hearts of men, which many interpret as a sign of social unrest. Today, we see protests and movements demanding change in almost every part of the world. From movements for racial equality, like Black Lives Matter, to climate change activism and protests against corruption, people are standing up for what they believe in and fighting for justice. This growing movement isn't just a trend. It reflects a deep desire for a fairer world. Imagine a future where social unrest becomes even stronger. With issues like climate change, economic inequality, and political corruption becoming more apparent, people might demand real change rather than accepting empty promises. Millions of people could fill the streets, calling for justice, equality, and responsible leadership. This social revolution could lead to a shift in power, where people have more influence over decisions that impact their lives. In such a world, power would no longer be concentrated in the hands of a few, but would be more evenly distributed among the people. But it's not just about political power. Climate change, inequality, and the rapid pace of technological change are creating new challenges that demand action. As resources like food, water, and clean air become scarcer, the potential for conflict rises. People are demanding that their leaders address these issues, but as the challenges grow, the possibility of conflict increases too. Nostradamus's prediction of a fire in the hearts of men is a glimpse of a world where social unrest pushes people to stand up and fight for a just and fair future. And let's not forget about the end of false prophets. When life gets tough, people often look to spirituality or faith for comfort and guidance. This isn't anything new. It's something people have done throughout history. During hard times, many of us search for something bigger than ourselves, something that can help us feel stable when everything around us feels out of control. Nostradamus once talked about a return to old beliefs and warned about false prophets, or people who don't truly guide us. Some think this means that in times of political chaos, natural disasters, and social conflicts, people will look for deeper, more genuine ways to connect with spirituality. Today, we're already seeing more people explore spirituality outside traditional religion. They're looking for something real, something that feels meaningful in a world that's always changing. This doesn't mean everyone's giving up on traditional religion. But many want spiritual practices that feel personal and flexible, instead of following strict rules that don't connect with them anymore. More people are turning to things like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection, ways to find peace and purpose that match their own experiences and needs. Imagine a future where spirituality isn't about following one set of rules or one type of institution. Instead, it reflects each person's own values. In this kind of world, people might drift away from institutions they feel disconnected from, choosing instead to create their own ways of practicing spirituality that feel more honest and meaningful to them. Communities would be based on shared values, offering kindness and support without the strict rules of traditional religion. These communities could give people a sense of belonging and focus on common goals, like protecting the planet or working towards social justice, making life feel both comforting and inclusive. This change could even bring science and spirituality closer together. As science helps us understand more about the universe, people might start to see science and spirituality as two ways of exploring the same big questions. Instead of seeing them as opposites, people might blend scientific knowledge with spiritual wisdom. Nostradamus's return to old beliefs might not mean going backward, but combining ancient insights with modern discoveries. This new kind of spirituality could give people a sense of purpose that respects both scientific progress and the mysteries we still can't fully explain. What's currently unfolding in the world is shocking, but what happens in the video at your right-hand side is even more insane.